Everyone, this is going to be another new original YouTube series of mine where I tell my life experience in terms of relationships, personal thoughts, and other stuff like that. Just so everyone knows, this is all real. Anything and everything you hear in these videos are actually true. So I really hope you find enjoyment from listening to me talk about myself, and hopefully you will get to know me a bit better. So for this story, I'm going to be talking about how a loli used to like me when I was around 7th grade and stuff like that. So it started around the summer of 7th grade. I was about 13 at the time. I wasn't ignorant of love, nor was I invested in the idea of having a girlfriend and none of that stuff, you know, because I was a kid. Really, all I wanted was to have fun and hang out with my friends, while we still could during our summer break. Not too long ago, or should I say a year ago, I asked my parents for a bike. This wasn't any ordinary bike, more like a Razor electric mini bike from Walmart. Ever since I saw my friend, let's just call him Jay for short, riding one of those bikes around the neighborhood, I really wanted one considering he looked pretty badass. He was older than me, I'd say about 3 years older, so obviously I looked up to him as a role model. Anyways, me and my friends from the neighborhood, including Jay, were playing at my house. It was like any other day really. We were playing Yu-Gi-Oh! In my garage and dueling one another. I obviously lost a lot because of how inconsistent my deck was, while my other friend, let's just call him Drake, had the best deck. I would get pretty mad since it almost seemed like no matter how many times we faced each other, I'd always lose. I asked him if he wanted to trade and he agreed, but we had to go to his house first and get his stuff. So like a little badass I thought I was, I rode my electric Razor bike all the way to his house. I can't really remember if I wore shades or not, just to make myself look cool, but honestly, now that I look back on it, I feel like a total idiot for even wearing them. If I did, that is. As soon as I arrived at his house, he went inside. I waited out in front of his house, which was in a cul-de-sac. I was sitting on the curb of his parking lot until suddenly I saw this little girl. I'd say she looks about 5 or 6 years old, coming up to me. I saw her house garage door opened from across my friend Drake's house. I assumed she was playing outside considering it was pretty nice out. She came up to me and gave me these yellow flowers things that grew all over the lawn of her house. I was like, okay, thanks I guess. Then she ran away back into her garage. That was kind of a weird encounter for me. Hell, I didn't even know who she was until now. My friend finally came out with a box of Yu-Gi-Oh cards and looked at me with a weird expression saying, "Why do you have flowers, dude?" I told him that one of this little girl from across the street gave them to me. He told me and teased me about how I had a secret admirer. I laughed and brushed it off considering she was only like 5 or 6 years old. We then headed back towards my house. We continued our day and played card games for a couple of hours until everyone wanted to head over to Drake's place and play video games. He had a pretty awesome selection of video games, especially on the GameCube. We all then headed towards my friend Drake's house. On our way there, I saw that same little girl outside in front of her house, playing with one of her friends. I could tell she was staring at me as I drove my mini electric Razor bike past her. As we got there and everyone was about to go inside, she came over again and told one of my friends to hand me a piece of paper with a little heart on it. I was kind of flattered that she would write me what it looked like at first glance, a love letter. Everyone teased me about it. I, of course, was not laughing. I opened it and it was those love letter confessions kids would write. Would you go out with me? With 2 check boxes, one of them having yes and the other no. It was pretty adorable from my point of view, but of course I would say no. I didn't have a pencil, so I took it inside my friend's house and my older friend Jay asked me, "Are you going to say yes to her, dude?" I was like, "Are you kidding me? She's like 5, of course not." Then my other friend, who was Jay's little brother, let's call him N, said, "You're going to break her heart," and then started laughing. I felt really bad considering she looked like she poured her heart out into this confession of hers. But again, she was only like 5 and I didn't want to have a 5-year-old girlfriend, cause that's just weird. I asked my friend Drake for a pencil and marked the box that had the no as my response. Later that day, after we finished playing games and started to head out towards my friend Jay's house, I saw her playing outside of her house with her friend. I drove my electric Razor bike in front of her and gave her the letter. As soon as I did, I drove off into the sunset with a little tear in my right eye, like in those dramatic anime scenes. Just kidding. I just drove off feeling really bad, but hey, that's life, you know? Anyway, that's pretty much my experience with a loli liking me. Funny thing is, she would be the first girl to actually go out of her way and actually try to confess her love to me. I wasn't that good looking and was pretty chubby as a kid, so obviously I didn't get any of the ladies. But nonetheless, I was pretty flattered by her gestures, and I was pretty certain that she didn't know what she was doing, especially at around her age. I hope you guys enjoy my little story from my past experience. If you guys like listening to me talk about my life, then please click the like button, and don't forget to subscribe if you're a new person to my channel. Otherwise, click that little bell button next to the subscribe button so you can get notified when I post a new video. Anyways, love you guys, and thanks for watching.